Hello and welcome to my first YouTube video. I am Chococopter and I'm going to try doing long form content for a change because I don't really like making short form content, and also I don't know what I'm doing with my life. But yeah, I decided to try doing doll videos because I've been customizing dolls on and off for about 7-ish years now. So I thought, why not give it a try? I might not always do doll videos, I might just do crafts, but for now we're doing a doll because that's what I did. So my idea for this doll, it was actually supposed to be an Easter doll. I started it around Easter and I finished it maybe 2 months ago and only doing the video now. Whoops, but it's fine. My idea was to make like a pastel-y, decor-y, like modern Easter doll, like she's a descendant from Easter. Very like Hop, but not bad and scary. But yeah, so let's look at the doll. So I got this doll from KikaGoods because I saw they make like plain VJDs that are fairly cheap, because I think they're like plastic, not resin, and they're like mass produced, but they're not like rip-off doll casts from like AliExpress, which is really dangerous to kind of buy from. They're not always recast on AliExpress, but I do not know what I'm doing, so I did not trust it. But yeah, it's like a small doll, and this is actually my first time doing like a quote-unquote proper BJD. I usually do like Monster Highs and whatever, but I thought I'd give it a try because she has this little rabbit face, and again, I thought it would be perfect for Easter. And enjoy looking at these eyes that she comes with, because you are never going to see these again. I am going to drop them somewhere in my room, and to this day, no clue where they are. No clue where they are. So the kind of annoying thing about this doll is that it doesn't come with the back of the head, because you're supposed to use like a hair plate for the back. But I wasn't going to do that. I was going to make a wig. I don't know how to make a hair plate. So I first start molding the back of the head. And I do not recommend using air dry clay. Air dry clay is very heavy. I do have epoxy sculpt, but I also thought that was going to be heavy and kind of expensive. This was the only clay I had at the time. I've actually recently bought foam clay. And if you were going to do this, highly recommend foam clay. It's so light and you don't really need it. Like, foam clay is hard to sculpt with. You don't need the sculptor to be good for the back of the head for this. Or just sculpt hair straight onto it, honestly, because this was so tricky. But yeah, I did have to stuff it first and then wrap that, because you still want to be able to have access to the inside of the head so you can actually get the eyes in there. But yeah, even though like it fit, and it was kind of cool that it fit, her head is so heavy and she can't like keep her head up. So again, do not recommend this, but it's what I did. Then I do the try and true method of making a wig cap for the doll, except I don't have any more stretch fabric. So this is non-stretch fabric I'm trying to make into a wig cap, which is not good because it doesn't want to lay flat. But I do it anyway. I get the fabric, secure it on, and then cover it in glue to make it hard. Again, this would have been so much better if I have stretch fabric. I'm the kind of person, I'll just use whatever I have. I have so much stuff everywhere. It's really hard for me to buy new stuff when I have stuff, even though it's not the right stuff. I'm stubborn and I will make it work. It kind of worked. I probably shouldn't have done this, but whatever. Then, if you've never seen how to make a wig before, I recommend watching other doll videos. Those are the ones I use to learn how to do this. So I'll put some here and some in the description as well. But basically, you get some 100% yarn, acrylic yarn, and then you brush it out, you straighten it. This is how I make my wefts usually. I'm a yarn girly. I have used doll hair before, and I've used Kanekalong before as well, which is fun. I just find this easier to mold the hair to what I want, and it doesn't take as long as rerouting a doll. So this is what I did to make her hair wefts. Another thing that shows I have absolutely zero patience is the fact that I use hot glue to stick the wefts onto the wig head. You should really use like a white glue or a PVA glue or something, or even like maybe a hoo glue. Something that doesn't burn your fingers. I do have silicone fingertips that help. Doesn't always help. It helps me not get burnt, but it's still like you can feel the heat through it. I use these because it's just quicker. It's just so much quicker. I used to use them to actually make the wefts as well, but it made the ends of the weft so lumpy and bumpy that it makes the wig like not lay flat, which is why I stopped doing that. But I still use it to attach it to the wig head. It just is so much quicker than waiting for glue to dry. Two things I hate doing: waiting for glue to dry, waiting for paint to dry. they will actually be the death of me. And then, whoopsie, I did do a lot of this off video. This is my first time trying to record the entire process of me making a doll, so I do apologize if there's some things I skipped. But I then like finished the wig off camera, stuck a bunch of stuff to it, did the braids. Because this is going to be her only wig, I don't mind gluing things straight up to the wig, because I can also take the wig off if I decide I don't like this hair anymore. But it looks really cute, and this kind of gave me the energy to know, okay, I think I'm going in the right direction for this. And also, like, sometimes finishing the little projects within a project helps give you that dopamine to keep going. You know what I mean? It's fun. I don't know. I like it. So I did a little bit of another whoopsie where I didn't really record much of me making the clothes either. I have a very winging it process when it comes to clothes. I have a little bit of scrap fabric from this other project I did. I want to make it into like a little dungarees. I didn't have a lot of it, so that's why she has one long leg, one short leg. I just kind of trace around her. I don't know a lot about sewing. I just keep brute forcing it until it kind of works, but you'll see it at the end, so don't worry about it. I also made her a little cardigan. I like hand knitted it, and I also forgot to record any of that. Sorry, I did it in bed when I was really tired. So listen, I'll get better at recording stuff someday in the future, I promise. Maybe. Now for one of the more fun parts of the doll face up is the repaint time. So I spray the doll with MSC firstly, and obviously use your mask, use your gloves, use all your safety tools, and I leave that for a while, and then I start sketching. Now I didn't actually have a coloured sketch of what I wanted this to look like. I'm kind of bad at planning things. I kind of just like to go with the flow and see what's going on. I decided I wanted this doll to have two different coloured eyes, an orange eye and a green eye, so I decided I kind of wanted like the lashes to represent that kind of. I also wanted to try these like bubble lashes, which end up not really looking like bubble lashes. They look more like just a fun eyeshadow shape, but I still kind of like it and I go with it. And usually I sketch with like a lighter colour that's closer to the skin tone of the doll, but again, I'm just kind of, sometimes I'm a kind of person who, if I make a mistake, I'll just go with it. If it's a mistake, you know, eventually I'll make it work. So I just kind of keep going. I'm not trying to do like a fan art. I'm not trying to make it look like something specific. I don't have a plan in my head. So I just kind of try things out and see how it goes, and then see if I like it in the end. Also, I'll put all the materials I use down below. The stuff I use isn't very expensive. So like these watercolor pencils are ones I've had, I think, since I was a kid. No, tell a lie, there's other ones I have since I was a kid. These ones my friend gave me like 5-6 years ago, and again I just kept them because I was like, oh, I can use these for doll repaints, but they're not like the best quality in the world, but they do what I need them to do. I also have some pastels. Again, I'll put them down below. All the materials I use I'll put down below, just so you guys know. Again, I'm just kind of going straight in with colors, which probably isn't the best idea, but I like it. I like how it comes up in the end. So I'm using like different shades to kind of get more depth and make things a little darker, a little lighter in places. Again, this is, I think, where it stops looking like bubble eyelashes, and more like a bubbly eyeshadow, which again, still looks cute. I still really like it. So I'm using some pastels to try and do her eyebrows. Again, I'm the kind of person who usually just goes in with a pencil and just brute forces it. But I've learned using pastels kind of helps you be able to adjust it a little bit more before you go in more permanently with the shape. I like doing like cute little bubble eyebrows is like what I do for a lot of my dolls and drawings. I just think it's really cute. And I think for this doll specifically, because everything's so round and bubbly, the round eyebrows were really cute. You can't see them in the end, so why did I bother? I don't know, but I did try. Sometimes you'll also see me using like a kneaded eraser to try and get some of the marks I've made off. It doesn't really work because, again, even though pencils aren't permanent, because the doll's face is so light and the pens I'm using are quite dark, even when I try to erase it doesn't fully go away. So I'd probably have to use like an acetone or something to get it off. But again, when I make mistakes like that, I just try to pull it into the design. I try to just go with the flow of it, because I can't start again and I can't cry about it. So it just has to be part of the design now. I'm also putting a lot of blush on this doll just because I think adding blush to dolls is one of the things that makes it look more alive and like less like plastic. Especially like before I had MSC, obviously I couldn't do the pan pastels because there's no way to make it stay on the doll. But even if I do a lot of acrylics on the face, I still just use a lot of pan pastels to blush everything. I think it's so cute. Even though you can't see a lot of this blushing in the end because I cover it all up with clothes, it just makes it look so cute. It makes it look so cute and it doesn't take very long and it's not hard to do. So if you have MSC, I recommend blushing all of your dolls. So near the end, when I start using the darker colors to really put like the finishing touches on it, so like I said, I add the eyelashes because I realized the bubble lashes wasn't working, so she just has like black lashes. I also use black around her mouth. I tried adding a couple of freckles to her to make her look very like springy and cutesy. I think I went too dark in certain places, and I think I end up turning it into like little heart-shaped beauty marks. Again, if it's a mistake, I'll make it look purposeful after. That's all I can really do about it. But yeah, after adding like, you just keep going more darker, you keep going, adding more definition. And again, there's always like sprays in between these as well. I think in the end I might have, I don't spray as much as other artists do. I think I spray maybe 3 or 4 times at most during the whole process. And that 4th time is like the last finishing seal, which means I only do maybe 3 layers. I'm not a very patient person, and doing face ups do take a lot of time. I think that's again sometimes why I like just using acrylics, because you get very bold colors, but also it just makes the whole process quicker. You don't have to like very slowly do layer by layer by layer and then spray it and then wait half an hour and then do another very slow layer. It makes it look beautiful. It's a lot of time and I have no patience. I do end up using some acrylic to make the whites a lot more white though, because the white pencils never really show up properly. And yeah, there's her face up done. Now we're going to go back a little bit before I do the face up. It is the part where we need to make the eyes. Now again, I didn't realize that the eyes had gone missing. At this point I was like, oh, I can't find them, I've dropped them somewhere, and they're see-through, so I had to make my own eyes. So for this I'm going to use some air dry clay. I've made eyes before. I usually use polymer clay, but to do that you have to like cook them, and I just think cooking just 1 set of eyes, or maybe even like 3 sets, because you never know if you're going to make a mistake. It's just a lot of power in the oven, it's a lot of electricity to waste for just a couple of little eyes. So I decided to make them out of air dry clay. Because they're so small, they dry fairly quickly as well. And this isn't normally how I do doll eyes. Well, to be fair, I've only done it once before, but I usually do like the indent version where you add like glitter and stuff. This time I tried to do the version where you draw on a piece of paper, cut that out and stick it to the eye. I did like it because I think it gave me a little bit more room to make depth. I could have also done the version where you do it digitally and print it off. I just felt like that was a lot of paper for me to be printed. I should have probably done it anyway. Maybe if I make a lot of eyes, I'll just do that anyway. I also had a hard time telling what size of eye I needed, so I made a couple, honestly, to try and get them to sit in the right place. And then I ended up putting UV resin on the top to dome it. And fun fact, I lost those eyes as well. So the eyes you see in the end that she has, not the eyes I made. Different eyes. I had to make it off camera because I couldn't find those eyes, had no clue where they went. I'm just like, my craft space is so messy, and if something small drops one time, it's gone forever. Gone forever, no clue where it's gone. But not worrying too much about that. I did decide to make her a little Easter basket as well. Again, she's supposed to be the Easter bunny. I wanted to give her some eggs to hold. So I made this cute like heart-shaped bag. I've made a basket once before, and I made like a straw hat kind of once this way, where you make a base out of, I made it out of foam because I wanted this like heart-shaped one, but you can also make it out of like cardboard, thin like packaging cardboard, and then you glue either string around it to make it look more like hay. I decided to glue yarn around it so it looked more like cutesy and fantasy, like woven basket. This did take a while because I used Mod Podge or like a white glue to stick it, because again, hot glue I thought was going to be too messy, but I mean it was still messy, but it just took a while to like stick to where I wanted to do, and then I had to like hold it there for a while, and then it stuck to my fingers. It still looked really cute in the end. I'm glad I did it, but ooh, it took a while. I just wish hot glue worked for everything. But yeah, with all of that, it's now time for the reveal. I am so happy how she turned out. She's really cute. She's not perfect, but for my first BJD, very proud of myself. I did make the shoes off of camera as well. The shoes honestly annoyed. Doll shoes annoy me so much. I hate doing them. I ended up just giving her little sandals, like with clay, and then sticking a ribbon around it. It doesn't even stay on her foot. I had to put some white tack on the bottom of her foot to keep her shoes on, but I just didn't want to look at it anymore. So yeah, you can also see the eyes I made here. So this one I actually did a different style where you actually indent the eyes and paint inside of it. I'll maybe do another insert doll at some point. I also added a little belt bit. I made some Easter eggs and not good, and I put it in the basket. Listen, again, this is my first time trying to record this whole process. I didn't do it well. I'll do better next time. This is all a learning process. You have to kind of suck at something to eventually be kind of good at it, a wise dog once said. So I hope you guys enjoyed it anyway, and let me know what more you want to see from me. More doll videos, more crafts, whatever, I'm open, and I'll see if I want to also. But yeah, I'll see you guys next time. Bye bye.